Well, as you can tell, back on the elevator project, it's a little bit different and a lot more together than last time you saw it. I apologize for not getting any video of putting the sections back together. I did this yesterday and tried taking video of it, but there was a damn thunderstorm rolling through, like I could throw a rock and hit it just over to the east of us, and there was wind and the skies were dark, and I actually got sprinkled on twice putting this thing together, and it was just not a good situation for trying to film anything. So I deleted the little bit of video I had because it was so damn windy, and you didn't miss much because it was literally just bolting it together like an erector set. Pretty boring shit. So today's a little different. Well, hopefully by the end of the day it will be back with the chain in it and back on the undercarriage and rolling and basically 100% complete. On the end plate here, got a nice beefy drawbar on it. Same receiver style like the old one. I set it up to reuse the old hitch, although I'm probably going to shorten it a little bit. These tabs are welded on here for the chain guard, which I don't have yet. I made it out of some scrap steel we had laying around, and the sheet metal I used had paint on it, so I took it over to my buddy's house to have him blast it, and he just so happened to be shooting some rims for a John Deere A, and all the trim on this thing is either orange like the Spears, or there's yellow on the undercarriage, and some of the attachment pieces, well, like that stuff there is yellow. So I'm gonna have him make this chain guard yellow to kind of give it some contrast, so it's just not a big orange blob down here. And then that's the slide for the chain tensioner, and I put tabs on here to mount a bale chute that you lean up against the wagon to drop the bales on, so they just slide down onto the elevator and it takes them. I've actually got a chute that I'm gonna go get for it. I'm pretty sure it's actually a baler chute that brand new, never been used, but I gotta bring that home tomorrow. And the other thing I did is cut these corners out because they were really tight into the sprocket, and then took that lip there and broke it down to give the paddles a leading edge so that they don't catch. So yeah, that's basically where we're at, and it went together fairly good. It's got a couple weeble wobbles in the side panels a little bit, but it's a damn sight straighter than what I started with. So I fought a couple of the bolts getting it in, but I also wasn't working on a flat surface. As you can tell, it's kind of off the ground there in the middle. The sucker's rigid, I'll give you that, because I could pick it up in the center with a fork truck and it doesn't bow. I wouldn't want to carry it around too much like that, but it's rigid enough to handle the way it is. So anyhow, first things first, I'm going to put the head shaft in with the sprockets, and I won't assemble the chain or the counter shaft, but I need to get that in so that I got something to idle the paddle chain over to get it drugged back through, because that's got to happen before it goes back on the undercarriage. So that's going to be step one for today. Okay, so anybody who's been following this knows that I'm holding these front bearings on with flathead bolts that are recessed into this plate for clearance on the sprockets. Slight interruption. Guy showed up, had to make him a airline for his floater. All this shit weather, guys have been in here like crazy fixing all their broken stuff because they got nothing better to do. It was damn near dry enough. I probably could have fit ground yesterday, but I knew, I was like, well, I can get it fit. Oop, wrong size. I knew I'd get it fit, but there wasn't no way in hell I'd get it planted. So I was just like, well, I ain't gonna waste the diesel. So I just came home and worked on this thing. Great thing about these little zip guns, very rarely, if ever, if you're working with new hardware, do you need a backup wrench. You need to run that thing home and it'll go. Okay, now, to avoid making a mess, I'm going to anti-seize the bearings, not the shaft. And this is fun because you gotta bounce the shaft and get the sprockets on and get it through the other bearing and all sorts of fun stuff going on here all at once. And the sprockets fit loose enough that I ain't worried about anti-seizing them. Plus they're painted inside and out now, so shouldn't have much of a problem, really. Alright, so I got the shaft in. Got one set screw set on each bearing. The other set screw I'm going to drill point to give the dog on the screw something to engage, and that'll keep the shaft from walking back and forth. You ain't got to go very deep, you just got to put a dimple in it. And there's that. Okay. Oh, that was sucked to get unrolled. Holy shit. It's too hot for this. This part I've been dreading is threading that thing back in there. So, I'm gonna get it flopped in on top and get it threaded over the top sprockets, or get it threaded over the top of the sprockets, and then get a rope. Hopefully we got a hunk of rope long enough and heavy enough to get through the bottom of it and hook on and pull it through. And I'm gonna end up having to break some chain off because we took 10 foot out of the elevator. So in theory, should have to take 20 feet out of the chain. But anyway, she's strung out, so now I have to find me a hunk of rope. Okay. Well, unfortunately, I can only find a piece of rope long enough to get to there. So, what I think I'm gonna do is grab a hold of it in here somewhere and pull a short section in and pull it through with the rope and just baby it through and see how that works. So it ain't gonna be fun one way or the other, but hopefully we can get her done. I don't know if you can see shit from there or not. Better idea. Let's do this. This will work. This will definitely work. Ta-da! Let's do it. whole lot easier doing it like 4 or 5 feet at a time. I thought about hooking it to the forklift, but this way I can feel it so if it hooks I don't rip shit up, so sometimes easier isn't always better. But you get the idea. Well, changed back into tension best I could. I got her pulled up pretty tight, but I didn't lock anything down. I was probably gonna have to run it and let it settle in and then tension it one more time. I'm almost wondering if one of them chains has an extra link in it, because I couldn't get them to straighten out. And they were crooked when I brought it home too. So I don't know if one's got an extra link in it, or if when they machine the holes in the sprockets, one's clocked slightly different than the other one. I don't know, but time will tell. It's not off by much. It's like half a link, maybe it looks like. So operationally, and it wouldn't make much of a difference. But anyhow, I got her up in the air. I got the reinforcing plate where I hope the undercarriage is going to mount, because that's going to put the wheels on center, you got to mount it there. So if I go one back, it's going to make it heavy on this end. And when I brought it home, they had the thing perfectly balanced and it wanted to teeter, which kind of doesn't seem like a good idea for an elevator, because if you get a bale on that end and nothing on that end, it's going to want to fall on that or fall that way. So I put it just that side of center so that hopefully this end will be a little heavy and it'll stay on the ground. So anyhow, now I get the glorious job of wrestling that bastard back in there. This is gonna be fun. Well, she's back on her own 2 feet. Actually wasn't that bad. Not as bad as I thought. Dad came out and helped me real quick. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna wish if I'd have moved it down one hole yet. It just seems like it would try to teeter if I went one more. But I don't know. It's not that hard to move. We'll try it there, see how I like it. If nothing else, just go ahead and move it. So anyway, that's where I'm stopping for the night. I gotta go home and make dinner, so tomorrow should be good. Finish putting the drive together, put the shaft on, or put the jack shaft in, put the car sprockets and chain on, and test run it. So we will catch you tomorrow. Well, the moment of truth, it will or it won't. Got the drive chain all put together, put the other shaft in. Ended up moving the undercarriage forward one hole, because I pulled it up to the barn last night to move it out of the driveway and instantly hated where it was at. So ended up moving it forward one hole. Didn't make it as tippy as I thought, but it's still light down here, so we'll just have to see how it acts. Might have to make something to anchor it to the ground. But anyhow, I guess nothing to it but to do it, really. I'm kind of scared. Nope, this is gonna be loud. Well, I think I got it where I'm pretty satisfied. Ran it for a while. I oiled chains to help them, try to help them limber back up because they were kind of stiff. And that quieted it down a bunch. But apparently the chain on this side is stretched a little more than the chain on that side because I had to run this jack screw out a ½ inch farther to get the slack out of it. But I mean, they're running fairly true going up, so we can call that a success. I'm satisfied with it. Although it wouldn't surprise me. I ran it for a while and I ended up having to pull 2 links out. And it wouldn't surprise me after running it for a while with an actual load on it, doing hay or doing straw. Won't surprise me one bit if I don't end up taking 2 more links out of it. Because I ran it all the way back and I couldn't quite squeeze them together enough to get 1 more link out, but I'll be willing to bet after I run it for a while it'll free up enough to get another link out. Oh, I lost a nut. I didn't have those tight yet because I didn't know where it was going to be. It's probably down here in the bottom somewhere. And I also did it make it down? There it is. All covered in oil. Is the lock washer in there? Probably. There it is. Well, where did it go? I just had it. Shit. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Drilled 2 5/8 holes in there for water to run out. I waited till after I got it together because I wanted the elevator sitting like it would be sitting when it was parked, so the holes ended up in the right spot. Like I say, I got a chain guard for this. It's just not painted yet, so that'll be covered up. And probably gonna end up making a tube shield for this, so that'll be covered up. But, and then like I say, I'm making a bale chute that'll mount on these tabs. And other than that, and it's probably gonna end up with a set of tires, although that's probably gonna wait for a while. Probably after I get straw done, use some of the money from the straw to put tires on it. But anyhow, I'm completely satisfied. It actually runs a lot better than I thought. Get a few more hours on it, get it shined up, it'll run nice and quiet after that. So anyway, I guess I don't know what else to say. Get jam nuts on there, lock the tensioners down. Get that bolt or nut put back on there, lock that slide cover down. And call this one a wrap. So I guess that's it for this one. We'll catch y'all on the next one.